Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. It's turned summertime in Los Angeles, so it's not only warm, it's really on the border of being hot. So we're not griping, or at least I'm not. It feels good after our weird winter. So I hope you're having a good time. And if you're venturing out, I hope you're being safe. Scary. And I don't know what else to say about that other than it's scary. And today I wanted to talk about the stories that we tell ourselves and the stories that other people tell us, sometimes about ourselves, sometimes about life in general. And, nothing really changes until we can discover what is in my head that I'm telling myself. And that's where using affirmations helps, because it reprograms that old thinking. So let's think about some of the stuff that you might have been told as a kid. Children have incredible confidence, until they're told, don't do that, you can't do that. And so there are two ways messages get to us. One, from the outside, obviously, when someone else tells us something, a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a teacher, a neighbor, a friend. And the one that carries the most weight eventually is the friends. But, I see my sister. I'm always telling you all about my sister, the one I steal blouses from, and the one that sat on the church pew with me, being terrorized by thunderstorms. That's her. We were huddling a lot of times in our childhood. Hi, Sister Mary. It doesn't have a thing on here where I can bring you online, or I would. It says I can wave to you. Anyway. All right, I'll try not to be distracted by who comes online. Hello, everybody. So I was talking about, I don't have the button. It doesn't say she wants to come online with me. She wants equal time for all the tales I've been telling. I don't know why I don't have that button on yours. Anyway, as I was saying, the messages come from two ways. One, people tell us. So eventually peers and what they tell us is more important than what anybody else tells us. But it may be somebody that says, oh man, you're really good at that. And we go away thinking, okay, I'm really good at that. Or it can be the opposite. It can be, well, you can't really do that very well, but you can do this. And what that leads to a lot of times is our perfectionism. You can hear it in adults running around and say, well, yes, I had accomplished a lot today, but I could have accomplished some more. What that means is, yeah, you made a B minus, but next time try for an A. Those kind of messages. Then there are other kind of messages. I just thought of one. I was in the 6th grade and in a Sunday school class. And my sister keeps saying, so where's the button? I don't see the button. I'll have to ask and investigate this so I can bring you on as equal time and you can defend yourself. Anyway, what was I saying? She's my older sister, so she always gets to tell me what to do. They're all older. Even the dogs and cats were there when I was born. Poor me. See, there's a message. I'm the last one in the family, so I don't count as much as the rest of them. So I was making a point somewhere. I was in Sunday school class. That's where I was. And this poor teacher, and I don't remember who he was. I do know he was a male. And he was trying to teach us about original sin. And I was listening. And I thought, you know what? I don't buy this. And so I proudly said, I don't have original sin. well, of course, he was very dismayed. Why, yes, you do. You know, we have to teach you about how sinful you are, and you need to work your way back to a God that loves you. Don't forget he loves you. But anyway, and I said, I don't have original sin. I was not in the Garden of Eden. I have not done anything wrong, and I try to be a good person, so I'm not buying it. I don't have original sin. Maybe they had it back then, but I don't have it. Well, my poor mother was a deacon in our church, and so he ran and told her, tattled on to her about me. And thank heaven, she didn't do much. She said, did you say that? I said, yeah. She said, oh, okay. And that was the end of that. So I thought, okay. That's right along there when, you know, people tell me that you're going to go to hell if you curse. Ooh, I'm glad that one wasn't true. I'd have been gone by the time I was 8. Because I used to hide in the closet and just take my frustrations out of, say, terrible things. Put my pajamas over my mouth and say, cuss, cuss, cuss. Felt great. And I waited for God to destroy me. No, he left that up to me. I've done a pretty good job of destroying myself. Anyway, I digress. Second way we get messages and the stories that we tell ourselves is we look at the world and then we make a decision based on the knowledge that we can see. That's not always good. So let's say a kid is 5, 6, and they know their mom's really sad. They don't know that we're depressed, but mom is really sad. And maybe they look at their dad and that dad is very sad too. Well, then the kid decides, I know, it's my job to make them happy. And so the story we tell ourselves would be, I'm going to do everything I can to make daddy happy. I'm going to do everything I can to make mama happy. And that means if I have a problem, I won't take it to them because they've got enough on their plate. They're too busy. Now, unfortunately, sometimes those messages are conveyed by the parents. Oh, you're the only little one that makes me so happy. And the kid says, oh dear, now I got to make her happy the rest of her life and my life too. But the more damaging part is that we grow up without realizing those are the messages we've internalized. And so we get to be 30, 40, 50, and we realize that we are still operating under a belief system that the 5 or 6, 7-year-old made. And so it's like, do you want to experience something differently? Then don't let that little kid make the decision for you. And so part of our maturing emotionally is to undo some of the messages that we were taught and some of the messages that we told ourselves. An interesting one, I come from a family of type A overachievers, and I was 4th of 4. You've heard me say that. Well, my brother was the oldest, and he was a valedictorian. And my next sister was very smart, and I thought she was salutatorian. Then the third sister was valedictorian. And I used to say to myself, well, Mom, I'm not as smart as the rest of them. And she would say, well, yes, you are. And I'd say, no, I really am not. It wasn't until I had my first therapy office that one of the sisters came to visit, and I learned that not everybody in my family was a valedictorian or salutatorian, but in my head, they all had been. And I was somehow a failure because I wasn't valedictorian or salutatorian. I was number 3 in my class. Now, those of you who are saying, yeah, well, I was number 27 or I was number 400. That's not the point. The point is, I told myself a lie for a long time. And I couldn't believe that I didn't know the truth all those years. Now, it was real freeing. Of course, I didn't let a lot of grass grow under my feet about achieving. There's a line in the big book that says, we alcoholics are undisciplined. And when I read that, I was very offended because I pride myself on good work. Then I had to realize that, yeah, I do a real good job with the things I like and want to do. But the other things, I'm pretty sloppy about. Don't want to do them. doesn't interest me. Eh. So I used to feel guilty over that. Now I just say, nope, that's not an interest of mine. And I don't lose a lot of sleep over it. Dig deeply, and if you're still operating today at your present age by a decision you made or an old story that you're telling yourself when you were younger, give yourself permission to change your mind and get rid of the old belief. It's not serving you well unless it's keeping you a victim and you enjoy being there. But, one of those times you're going to have to give up the Ain't It Awful Club or poor me, poor me. I have a good friend that we will call each other and say, okay, I'm not fit for the general population today, so give me 3 minutes. And then I whine and cry and scream and talk about how I'm a poor innocent victim and the whole world is out to get me and I hate everybody and everything and blah, blah, blah. And then she'll say, okay, 3 minutes, it's up. Okay, now we got to move to solution. It works. So give yourself permission to stomp, scream, and shout. 3 minutes is the max. You can't have 3.5. You can't have 4, because that can take you a nosedive into the rabbit hole. And then change your mind. I hope you're having a good day. I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Maybe it's Wacky Wednesday. I don't know what the young people say it is. I forgot even today what Tuesday was. I did it last week because my assistant told me, but she's very young. Anyway, I'm doing the best I can. Day 1002 or something in senior jail. How long do I have to keep this up? Anyway, I love you and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Have a good day.